to Simpler. We are three pastors, husbands, and fathers on a journey to make life simpler by holding Jesus as the core for every belief and practice. This journey has shaped us to be more like Christ, freed us from the shame of failure, and encouraged us to a deeper love of our Lord and God. We invite you to join us in the discussions that have shaped and continue to shape our lives.
Like that feeling of just like chilling somewhere, like on a porch or with a rocker or a hammock. I can't do a hammock because I get dizzy, but looking over something gorgeous is like, honestly, I think when we go to Colorado in the summer, I think I could probably spend multiple days literally just sitting on the porch and looking.
Well, that's what somebody asked me. They said, what was the best part for you? And I said, I know it's going to sound like an old man thing to say. I said, but Michelle and I were waking up about 6:45, 6:30. And I said, we'd have, had really awesome coffee, fresh coffee there and French press and all this stuff. And I said, I would even have a cup of coffee, and I'm not a coffee drinker. And we'd go sit out on the porch, and I'd take my Bible out there, and the boys are still asleep. And the rain's coming over the mountains, and the clouds are sinking down into the valleys, and the jungle canopy is peeking up through the clouds. Cool. And I would just sit out there and read for an hour. I was like, and you'd hear, like when the rain would let up, you'd start hearing all the birds and stuff moving around. I was like, it was just great. Like, it was so peaceful. And I was like, there were a lot of cool experiences, but for me, that was just, that was chef's kiss.
Yeah, I told Hannah that whenever so over the past 2 or 3 years, we went to Hawaii one year, we went to Canada another year.
Hey.
And yeah, exactly. And both of those times it was like, okay, as long as we just find places to sit. She was excited about the hikes and stuff, which of course, obviously. But then like we would be like overlooking this lake in Canada. I was like, cool, this is a sitting spot.
Yep.
So then you just sit
here and enjoy it.
Just be, I pack a pipe, just be there and just enjoy it. A tobacco pipe.
Yeah.
And then,
and
then there was this one area, and I forget exactly where we were, but in Hawaii, that was like, we were driving because the people that we were staying with, they were like, hey, we have a lifted Jeep if you want to borrow it for the week. And we were like, yes. And so we had a free Jeep for the week, which was dope. And so
is there something else besides a lifted Jeep?
There's a yellow Jeep.
I'm not sure that a Jeep is a Jeep unless it's lifted.
There we go. That's true. Yeah. But like we weren't worried about anything, like if we needed to drive off the road for anything. But we one of the days, our last day, we were like, let's just drive. Like we have, like, it doesn't take that long to see like the whole island, and that's what's accessible. And we went to this one little beach that it was kind of like angled inward or more inland. And we got out and no one else was there. We set up our chairs and there was mountains on either side of us and ocean right in front of us. And so you just sit like this and you see everything.
So cool.
Oh gosh, it was dope. And so when it was like, okay, we have about 20 minutes before we got to meet them for dinner. I was like, no. I just want to stay
skip dinner.
Right
here. Stay here for
tell them
hours?
to bring pizza or something here. Like, let's just chill here. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's old men. I think it's the wise thing to do.
Oh, okay. Wise men. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. I like it. I like it.
I don't need all the frill of all the other stuff. Just let me enjoy the nature.
We had, it was cool, man. We had a good trip.
That's dope.
It was.
We're not talking about how old you are today, Ryan.
We're not.
We can.
We're talking about how wise you are. What are we talking about today, man?
So today, I got a message from a friend of ours out of Midland who.
Hey, Adrian.
Yep.
Hey.
He's always listening to the podcast, and he said, hey, here would be a good idea. And he had just come back from youth camp where he had helped a student.
Hey, Adrian, I'm finally up on one of my cryptos.
Oh, there you go. Secret message to Adrian. It's not so secret, though. But he was talking about a problem that this girl in the youth was having, but then also some of the adults that he's taught to, of feeling not connected. They're maybe a little bit more introverted. They go to church. They come to church regularly. They're part of all the things the church is doing, but they don't feel connected to the community. They feel isolated.
The community of the church?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They feel isolated within the body of Christ. So showing up, worshiping, volunteering for this or that, but feeling disconnected. And how do we cultivate within our churches kind of this idea of community? How do we help these people? And, one of the things that I am not personally the kind of guy that like just jumps into a group that I don't know.
Right.
So I had somebody ask me recently, like, would you be comfortable coming to my house for dinner? And I was like, it depends who else is there,
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, just me and my wife, if you and Michelle came over, I was like, oh yeah, great, because we know you guys.
Right.
But if you invited us to a dinner party, I would just kind of sit over.
It's my favorite thing to watch.
Me?
Yeah, like the few times it's been like, or I think my 40th birthday, we had a party at my house, and a bunch of guys from church were there.
Yep.
And you were there too, but it was the same thing. You were just like standing right next to me, like just talking, like and you knew all these guys, but you didn't know them very well.
But I don't know them well.
Right.
And so
it was so great.
So what I do in that setting is I stay really close to the host who invited me. And if they're too busy, I'm like, well, time to go. Because I feel awkward making small talk. I don't know how to initiate that really well.
Right.
I'm not really good at that. I have friends who are really, really good at that. They can talk to anybody. Now, I am doing some things in my own personal life to try to help me overcome that. And be more outgoing. I don't think it's a right or wrong thing. I don't think it's a sin issue.
It is not.
I think it's a personality thing. But I also
there's some people out there though that need to shut up,
right?
Instead of like they talk too much in those situations. So same kind of thing. Like they need to learn some.
So
and that is sinful.
I was just going to say restraint. You're saying sinful. Yeah.
So I am trying to. There are social environments that I think it is better for me to be able to interact with people and not just shut down. But my tendency is to just shut down.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I would say to a person like me who's a little more introverted and gravitates just towards the people I'm most comfortable with is that it is not fair for me to blame other people that I feel disconnected. So if I go into a church group and no one's inviting me into their little prayer huddle or no one's inviting me to their luncheon or whatever, I can't blame them exclusively. Okay. I think there's two sides of this. I do think that the people who are extroverted should kind of look around for the people who maybe are fringe and be like, hey, come and sit with us or whatever. I think that there's a whole thing to that. But I want to speak to the person who's feeling left out and say that at some point you have to go, okay, I'm going to try. Because otherwise what you end up doing is you're just bitter at me, I would just be bitter and frustrated with everybody else. Why is no one inviting me to do this? Why is no one and here about me, because I'm such an introvert, if people don't invite me to something, I'm like, sweet. I don't have to worry about the social awkwardness of it, you know? But within a church community, I want to feel like I'm part of these worshipers that I'm congregating with, that I'm raising my hands to the Lord with, and you want to feel some bond to the people that are on your row and the people who are, you want to feel some connection. And I think at least for a person like me, it means I have to make effort. Now that's going to be counter to who I am. And I do like it when people who are more extroverted come up to me and go, hey, do you want to go do this? And then I'm like, yeah, because it gives me the opportunity to respond to that.
I think that, all right, stories you've told from you growing up as an introvert, you always talk about some like close connections you had with people, some people you were close with, but how those relationships started. This is for you, like the stories you've told me, was some situation or circumstance that brought you guys together. I can't think of one example in your life where one of those people came up to you and just said, hey, come be part of this. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I don't actually think that's the fix. I think you're trying to be nice to introverts.
Okay, cool.
I think the fix is to think of yourself as part of the body of Christ. I want to do life with people. And so then you just start going to things where those other people are and let the connections happen.
Sure.
Because I think what you're explaining is like the most impractical thing in the world.
Okay.
I think it happens with like a very small group of people. There are some extroverts who are, in a positive way, so concerned about making sure everybody is connected and loved and cared for that they're going to just go up to anybody and everybody.
Yeah.
It's a very small group of people.
Sure.
Right. I'm very extroverted. But I'm not going to be that person. You know what I mean? Now you come play golf with me. You come play disc golf with me. We play poker together. You know what I mean? Like we do it. Like you do these things together, and regardless of the person who's coming along with me to do those things, whether they're introverted or extroverted, there's going to be a connection made.
Agreed.
And I think that's actually the way to go, is instead of saying like, just go be part of people's lives, I think you start finding things that you enjoy that you can do with other people in community, and then let those connections happen. And what I'm about to say, I understand is going to be incredibly controversial.
I hope so.
And I don't really care. I don't think everybody is going to be friends.
Oh no.
I think
I
that
agree.
I think that even what I mean by controversial is like, I don't even think inside the church, let's say your local church,
Agreed.
it means that you have to be friends. I mean, like close friends with everybody in your church.
Right.
I think you have a love for one another, biblically, for the brethren, for the brothers and sisters. Like you care for them in that way, but I don't think that means you're like close.
No, you can't
with
be.
everybody that's there, because
that's impractical, I think.
It's very impractical, and it doesn't happen in any societal situation ever. And so I actually think that the best way to go for let's say someone is in your camp, the introvert who feels a little bit left out. I think what you have to start doing is going to be part of things where other people are. And what it doesn't mean is you're going to meet the people you're going to be close with the first time, or maybe the second time. But you, if your heart is, I want to be part of this community, you keep going to things, trying to find the connection with people. And I think what will happen is you will end up finding that connection. I think if you don't, you have to start looking internally.
Sure. What are you doing? What's hindering you from being able to build those relationships?
Yes. Now, from the flip side of that, to your point a second ago about you wish more extroverts would be a little more encouraging of introverts to come in. I agree with you. And I think that how that looks
I think you're right, though, that even extroverts, not all of them are going to fit into the category where they're just bubbly and
no.
Thank you.
I'll talk to most people. There's some people I'll divert away from pretty quickly. I'll talk to most people, but it's gonna be rare for someone to have like a close relationship with me, which is strange because I'm such an extrovert. But
I'm 24 years in and working on it. I hope one day you'll think of me as a close friend.
But that's also by nature of my personality.
Yeah,
right.
sure.
Like I'm definitely a lone wolf. Like,
you're self-sufficient.
Right.
Yeah. So it's hard to like pigeonhole people into these categories. But
Absolutely.
I do wish more extroverts would be more forthright in saying like, you know what, I like to play golf. I'm going to start this group. Like, hey, if anybody wants to come play golf, we're going to go play golf on this day. Like, that's the kind of stuff I wish extroverts would start doing. An introvert is very unlikely. It's unlikely that they would be the one to start that, but an extrovert would. So this is just practical thoughts, right?
Yeah.
So like start the things, and then what's going to happen is you start the thing, and then other people start coming. The people who wouldn't have started that, you're the extrovert, start it, and let other people start coming, and then let the relationships organically flow out of that, rather than like, I've just never liked the idea of this forced thing. Like you all go to church together, be friends.
Well, you said something a minute ago that I think's intriguing, and I think it's right. And I'm paraphrasing, but I think a lot of times in church culture, we think that the community comes from, well, we're all part of the same Bible study, or we're all part of the same small group. And Bible study and small group might not be enough commonality for you to build a bond with someone.
Right.
It could be, right? Like, especially if your small group is a group of people that you've bonded with and you're like, hey, we're going to do small group together, then you've already bonded. But usually you're bonding over something. And so to your point, Micah, there are several men in the church that you've played golf with over the last few months. I know all of those men. You know them better than me, because I'm not a golfer. I have no interest in going and playing golf. So you're out on the golf course. Darren and I are good friends, and we have staff meeting, and we see each other at church, and we'll text about different things. And we've become good friends over the last couple of years. But you have a camaraderie with them just from being on the golf course that I don't. And to get it outside of Sunday morning service, to get it outside of your Sunday school class or your small group, and be like, here's some things that I do. So as an example, I've invited through the years a couple of dozen people to come and do my backyard workout. Every single person who's ever come and done the backyard workout with me, even if it was only once, or they've thrown up in my bushes or whatever,
which is like a very large percentage.
Like six of the people have.
Out of 7.
The most recent one who threw up was like telling me the other day, like, I was so mad that I threw up there. Like, I told myself I wasn't going to. But every single one of those people is someone that I still talk to and text with regularly, just because we did something there was something that bonded us.
That's it. I think that there's maybe what I'm expressing is there's this weird sense of like, you go to church together, there's a bond. I don't think that's the case.
I agree. People think that community is just showing up.
Now, I do think that it can happen because you go to church together. And what I mean is like specific situations. So let's say just like worship. Let's say we have a special night of like a prayer night or a worship service, especially prayer night. You start praying with people like, wow, like watch the bond. Like it's crazy.
Agreed.
Like there's some kind of spiritual thing that happens. I don't know what it is. When you start praying with people like intensely, there's a bond created there.
Agreed.
Another great example is you do a mission trip with some people.
Yeah.
These are either going to be the people that you are going to be close with for the rest of your life, or you literally hate. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's usually not the latter. It's usually the first. Is you create a bond that is.
You've done something difficult together. You've seen God move. You've seen. Yeah.
I think it's the same reason why guys who go to war together have that kind of bond. It's a similar from the mission trip is like not exactly the same, but to some degree you're going into kind of this battle together,
spiritual battle.
Yeah. So I think that
you've spent months praying ahead of time. You've raised money together. Like
here's what's always, I'll just say, here's what's pissed me off through the years about people saying I can't find community at church is they expect the pastors to create the community for them. They want a program, and
program is a terrible substitute for community.
I think that as pastors, we can continue to get better at creating venues for people to get together so that the community can happen.
Right.
I don't think that if someone's waiting on that to happen, I don't think creating the venue is going to make it happen, because you don't have a mindset of community in the first place.
Right.
If your mindset is, I can't have community unless a program happens, even if the program happens, you're unlikely to find community because your perspective's off of what that community looks like.
Sure.
So just go eat lunch with people. Like, go to your point, like go do the things that you're already doing with other people. You don't have to create something new. Or young parents, you're like, I just don't have time to do any of that stuff. Then like, I think you've mentioned this, like some ladies at church do this already, is like just have a time where you get together with your kids playing on the playground somewhere.
Right. Yeah.
Go to a park.
Yeah.
Come to the church, go to the church playground. Like, it's not really a church playground, I guess, just for little
church
kids.
Play equipment.
Church
turf.
The turf. I mean, which is fantastic.
It is.
Find a venue where you can do what you're already doing, with other people.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, I think when people do those kinds of things, like if you're a mom and you're like lonely and you have toddlers, and get the other ladies with the toddlers, and like you said, like go play.
Right.
And I know what they're going to say. They're going to be like, do you know how much work it is to pack up? Okay, then have everybody to your house.
How do you go to the grocery store?
You know what I mean? But
like really, that's stop it. Like, you're saying you never leave your house.
Yeah. But here's the thing. The kinds of conversations that happen in that moment when your kids are playing on the floor, right? And you're able to just laugh about something or cry together or talk about, man, our baby's still not sleeping through the night.
Right.
Like, you're sharing life with each other. And everybody, I think, in church community, the idea of community, I think they feel like it has to happen over the book of James.
Right.
And it might happen over the book of James,
Right.
but I actually think that the book of James is more potent if you've already developed camaraderie with these people. Like if you already have a relationship with these people, and now, because like, let's say that you just get a group of 20 random people together and you're going to go through a Bible study together, which sometimes is okay, right? Like, I think that's okay sometimes, but you're asking hard questions of the text and hard questions of the audience. People aren't going to be very inclined to talk about it.
Right.
But you get people who have been in the trenches together in one form or another, who went to the hospital and visited you when you were sick. And then you start going through the book of James. Like, but again, like it's because you've already built that relationship. And so I think to your point, Micah, I think that we think of community as program instead of just doing life.
That's it. That phrase right there, like you're doing life with people. Like, so amongst us three, people always ask, like, how are y'all so close? I think it's because of that. So you and I, Ryan, the beginning was like
ministry.
Well, ministry,
disc golf.
Honestly, disc golf was more than ministry at the beginning. I think we did 1D now together.
That's how we started hanging out.
I made fun of you with the big Bible.
You
Remember
did?
that? That was one of those like giant Bibles that sat on the Lord's Supper table, and I sat down on a pew and the front and opened it right when he started preaching, and you almost fell off the stage because you were laughing. Like that was so. But then we started playing disc golf. Like that was the beginning.
3 or 4 times a week.
A lot, right?
Yeah.
And then we started doing ministry together, and so it's just years of like disc
Hard
golf together, hours on the road together.
Yep.
Hotel rooms where I'm like
Tiger Woods golf.
Oh my gosh, dude!
Like when you and Cammie got married,
oh my gosh,
and then she was a teacher. And I knew she would go to bed like at 10 o'clock. I'd show up at your house at 10:05, and you and I'd play Tiger Woods golf till like
late
midnight.
Right.
And then I'd say, all right, see you on the disc golf course in the morning.
Right. And then Pierce, you started playing bass for me on the road, which was hours and hours and hours and weeks and lots of watching Oceans 11, 12, and 13 over and over and over again. Right. But it was that time on the road that created that bond. Exactly. Now, there have been people that I've had those experiences with who I don't have the same bond as you,
right?
Which I think is what I meant earlier. Like there's going to be differences in the relationships. Like what us three figured out is like we work together.
Well,
and it clicks, which is so funny because I'm not sure if you picked the three of us out like as teenagers, you would have ever said those 3 guys are going to play in a church and
100% not. 100% not
together.
Like, yeah. No. If we were all in the same high school at the same time, that would be hilarious. I'm just like that. I'm in my head now. I'm creating a whole sitcom of the 3 of us as teenagers.
That's probably about as different as you can get.
Right. Yeah.
In every aspect.
Yeah.
Of what we did. But so back to this conversation of what that is it's not that like we were all jocks or we were all theater kids or we were all.
I wasn't either of those.
Yeah.
You swam.
I did. Yeah.
Like, so, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that you don't have to go back and go like, well, here's who I am because of my past.
Right.
Ryan, you used to never wake up early.
Right.
And then you just told us a story a bit ago about how in Costa Rica, you guys were waking up at like 6:30 in the morning. Like that's a different Ryan than the Ryan in his 20s and 30s that wouldn't wake up till 11. Right.
Well, if we were going to meet for lunch at 11, I'd wake up at 10:30 to get a shower and head out the door.
So I'm just saying, like things change and shift, right?
Yeah.
So like you can't say like don't pigeonhole yourself into this category and say I can't be around those people because I haven't done. I'll give you a great example of what I mean. James Farr, has like been diving into community with us. Right. In every aspect of life. And he I obviously met James originally because of disc golf. So like he plays disc golf. But there's some of the guys at church that he's met that play golf. And so James has said recently, I need to get some clubs and come out and play golf with you guys. Like James isn't saying, I've been wanting to play golf for a long time.
Right.
He's saying, I want to come be part of where the community is.
Exactly.
These are guys that I've enjoyed hanging out with. So that's what I think that's what you're saying, Ryan. Is like the shift of mindset is, oh, you know what? All right, Ryan, you might have to temper this.
Okay.
Because I'm going to say it and it's going to be a little harsh on purpose. I think the people who are saying, I don't feel like I can find community, my guess is it's based out of pride. Like there's something somebody's not doing that you think they're supposed to be doing that's going to create that community.
Yep.
And that's not a concern for community. It's not a concern for the other people. It's a concern for you.
It's very judgmental. It's very self-centered.
I don't think it means that it's not true.
Sure.
Right? I think that situation you're in is you're expressing how you feel in that moment.
Sure.
But my guess is at least part of the reason you feel that way is because there is some kind of pride in you that's keeping you from just going and being a part of people's lives.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
is that too harsh?
No,
okay.
Because it's kind of what I said earlier that I'm going to hold myself responsible for feeling left out because I get to choose that. Like to an extent, I get to choose that. Now, if I have tried to infiltrate 15 different groups and every time I get kicked to the curb, then either I have not found my group or I'm doing something caustic that's causing me to be kicked to the curb.
Yeah.
You know, like, so I'm either a really miserable person to be around or I just haven't found my group yet.
Yeah.
But there was somebody that I've become friends with recently, And we became quick friends simply because we realized, I'm thinking of a Venn diagram, right? The circles that overlap. We realized that there was a lot more overlap than we had originally expected. We're very different people, but we have so many things that are common that like those things made us pretty quick friends, you know? And it's interesting once you kind of go, oh, like, yeah, you like to do this too, or you know, for me, being able to just, again, I'm not good at small talk. I don't actually even enjoy it. I just don't.
You like big talk.
I like big talk. And sometimes medium talk.
I'm more of a big talk guy.
I'm going to start saying that. When somebody goes, how's the weather? No. I'm a big talk guy.
How was your relationship with your dad?
Yeah. Was he abusive or was he a loving disciplinarian?
Oh my gosh. You should have never said that, because you know I'm going to use that now.
Yeah.
I'm totally, because I'm not an introvert. So I don't mind the awkwardness in the moment.
Man, you having a good day? Did your dad love you?
Let's skip to the big talk.
But to be able to have conversation, like I enjoy conversation, right? And I think everybody does. I think even the most introverted person like enjoys being able to converse with someone at some point.
I think there's a very small percentage of people that could just like not talk for the rest of their life and be happy.
Sure.
It's a very small percentage.
No, but I have an acquaintance friend who has I don't know how to say it properly without being insulting, so I'm going to try to be really careful. But their son, 9th or 10th grade, maybe, is severely autistic, but they've learned how to communicate. And she put this story on Facebook a couple of days ago that he was eating spaghetti and he dropped some on the floor and it got on his clothes and he had this momentary freak out. And he told his mom, I need my principal. I need, because he had bonded at his school with his principal. I need my principal to help me. And she was just thanking the principal and the teachers who had made such an impact in her son's life that even though he doesn't like to be around a lot of people, his first thought when something went a little bit sideways was, these people would help me. And he likes to be in his bubble with his people. You know, his mom is one of, does that make sense? And even he was like, but I need my principal in this one, because there was something that he connected to.
Yeah.
And I think everybody longs for that, for someone you can connect to.
Yes. I think that's 100%.
And so if you long for someone to connect to, I was telling somebody the other day, and they just said, man, I think you and my wife are the only one that care about me like that. Cause I was just checking on this person. And I said, that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to have a really small circle. I think that we've watched too many movies and TV shows and we think we need to have like, it's like a flash mob ready at the drop of a hat. And some people are like that. Some people were the star athletes, the head cheerleaders. They were popular in high school. Now they've got huge friend groups, but I think those are probably more the exception. There are very few people that I really want to sit down and spend an hour at dinner with, where it feels easy. I'm happy to sit down with anyone, talk Christ anytime. I'm happy to do that anytime, because for me, the value of Christ is what's bringing me to the table. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But there are very few people I can sit down with and look at my watch, and we've been at the table for an hour and a half, and I'm like, dude, this has been so much fun. There just aren't a lot of people that I feel that comfortable with. Nothing wrong with them, just my circle's pretty small. I've said this to you guys before. I can road trip with you guys, and I don't care how long the road trip is. I'm comfortable. I'm easy. Like, if we all ended up having to share a bed somehow, like, you know, I know you guys well enough that I'd be like, all right, we're like,
no, it's fine. I'd sleep on the floor.
Yeah. And then Pierce and I would cuddle.
There we go.
But there are some people
that
that
CPAP machine would keep Ryan way on the other side of the bed.
We know each other so well that in a 6-hour drive, we are never at a loss for what to talk about.
No, and this is, I think, something people miss too in the closeness. The silence doesn't bother us either.
It doesn't. But we have so many. We'll talk about Ocean's 11. We'll talk about music from the 80s. We'll talk about theology. We'll talk about church. It's super easy to do that. There are people we had when we were in Costa Rica, we had between one resort and another, we had a 6-hour van ride. And here I am with this guy that's driving us. You know, he's our driver for these 6 hours. And within about 30 minutes, I had gone through all the conversation I know to have with somebody I have no clue who they are. And so about 45 minutes later, I was like, you have family? You married? You got kids? And he goes, yeah, I got a wife. And I was like, cool. What does she do? So he told me a little bit about that. And within another 10 minutes, I had exhausted those questions. So it's like an hour of just sitting there. And I hate that.
Yeah.
Really?
I hate it because I feel obligated to like release the tension. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
And so it's okay that the group of people that I could go on a 6-hour ride with and not feel that pressure is a short list. That's okay.
Question. I wonder if that's what's being expressed when someone says, I can't find community.
They can't find that camaraderie?
Or no, I'm wondering if there's a tension that doesn't actually exist that they're creating.
Yeah, maybe so. Well, it goes back to what you said a moment ago about an expectation that's not being met.
Yeah. Okay, maybe I'm not a good example because I'm more of a lone wolf, but I'm also not an introvert.
Right.
I don't think I've ever thought like, man, I don't feel like something doesn't exist. I don't have community.
Here's what's funny. I literally told Michelle, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to talk with this guy about for 6 hours tomorrow. Like, I don't want to be rude to him. And I said, Micah wouldn't think about this at all.
No.
He'd close his eyes and take a nap because the roads are windy and that's going to be what's best for him. Right. Micah could sit in the front seat next to him and never say a word to him and it'd be okay.
Yeah. And I'm wondering if just acknowledging that, I wonder if there's people who are more introverted like you that need to acknowledge that, that there's a tension that you're creating in life in general that doesn't actually exist.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm asking.
No, 100%. Because there is, I don't know. There is a cultural contract that my brain assumes.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Is that the case because it's what you want? Like not with the guy in the van.
Yeah.
Here, all right. This is a question. Let me give you the thought and then ask the question. I don't think it would be hard for me to find community in pretty much any venue I go to.
Agreed. I agree with that about you.
So it's not something I ever worry about. I'm wondering if the introvert worried about feeling like they're alone creates the tension because they don't want to be in a place where they feel alone because it's going to feel like work to have that community.
If I'm being completely transparent, for me, there have been a lot of times that I've felt like the outcast because I go into the situation already with the framework of my own insecurities and fears. So if my own insecurities and fears when I'm walking in, if I already assume I'm an outcast, I interpret everything as though I'm an outcast. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, some of it is your own self-evaluation. So
I'm not sure what the remedy is for that.
So let me give you an example. When I'm sitting in a room of other pastors who are talking about the Bible, when I was 20, I felt like an outcast. At 51, I feel like I can go to toe-to-toe with any of them in there. I don't feel like an outcast. I feel like pick the person. I feel like they could be incredibly seminary trained, know Greek and Hebrew verbatim, and I can still hang in the conversation.
Sure.
So I don't feel that tension. Does that make sense? But I do feel that tension.
Yeah, it does make sense.
When it's in a milieu or venue that I already feel uncomfortable in.
Help me. I think all right, for everybody listening, I'm asking these questions because I think it's going to be beneficial for you listening because this is Ryan and I are two different personality types.
Incredibly so.
Pierce lands like right in the middle.
Yeah.
Pierce can find community in any venue he's at too. It just is not.
I'll still feel insecure sometimes.
Yeah. I've been in a room with those pastors. I've never felt like I needed to go. I've never felt like my security was based on the fact that I could go toe to toe with them.
Yeah. Agreed.
Right. So
but it's a confidence level for me.
No.
That changes.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you. I think what I'm getting at here is, I think I'm wondering if this is introverts in general have to have something to hold on to that gives you value in the conversation.
Yes.
Because, and this is maybe where I felt like I was being harsh earlier. I'm wondering if introverts don't think that the value that they feel like they lack is actually a pride issue. So let me flip it.
Mm-hmm.
Someone that has my personality might not think that I am leaving people out of community because of pride, because I don't want them there. Right?
Say it again.
I think someone like that's an extrovert like me might be like, I'm not going to talk to this van driver because screw this guy. I could care less. Right? That's pride. In the same way, I'm wondering if an introvert doesn't think about that because it doesn't look the same. But I'm wondering if it's your desire to have something to hold on to that gives you confidence is actually the same pride issue.
Yeah, probably so.
Right?
Yeah. Well, we've said before on the podcast that insecurity and what we call pride are both pride. So like insecurity and arrogance are both pride. Right?
Yes.
And you wouldn't have not taught to the guy just because.
No. I'm saying the extremes, right?
Yeah,
the extremes
right. I know.
is like,
but I'm just saying, like, you also would have been like, okay, this road's too windy, and I've got to go to sleep because otherwise I'm going to be sick everywhere. You know,
or hey, dude, get out. I'm driving.
Yeah, let me drive. Yeah, but it was. I did think about you a lot.
I don't think I could do that trip.
You could not have done this 2-hour section of road that we did. You could not have.
I could have driven it.
Yes.
No.
You could have driven it. It's the only way you would have made it.
I would have had to rent a lifted Jeep like Pierce had in Hawaii and driven it. I could have driven it.
The only way you could have made it. It was the windiest road. So, yeah. So I think a lot of times that people are like, oh man, I don't have any community. I don't have any people. It's misplaced expectations.
Yeah.
You have an expectation of how people should treat you or what they should do. I think a lot of times it's insecurity, and fear.
Yeah.
Of just making yourself vulnerable. Look, no one likes to get the crap kicked out of them. And if your expectation is, if I make myself available, I'm going to get the crap kicked out of me, you're already going into it with the wrong premise. Because you're going into it, and then maybe they didn't kick the crap out of you, but they weren't as sweet to you as you had hoped. And so now you're disappointed, and you're like, they didn't even like me. And so I have had people, I had somebody say to me recently, I don't think Pierce likes me. And I was like,
who was it? I don't like him.
And I said, I promise you that's not the case. And I said, and not to be rude, but I don't know that he's ever thought about you. Like, you know, like
it's worse.
You know, like I don't think that there's a problem, right? And
I was
so
trying to think of like people through the years of knowing you that you've been like, I don't like that person, and it's not. I can't think of anybody.
Right.
No, Pierce loves everybody.
There's got to be somebody that you've told me, but I can't think of them.
Well, it's me. He's told me. He's doing the awkward like. But
you could go through the list for me.
Well, the thing about it, right, is that we have this concept that people need to cater to us. And honestly, that's just not how life works.
Right.
It's why it ticks me off when people like at HEB, right next to the handicap parking at the front, there's the big section with the lines like next to the handicap parking, the no parking zone. And it ticks me off how many people just park there and they'll put their hazards on. And they're like, well, we're just here for a few minutes. So?
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for somebody to come out. Is that you?
No, it's just the things that bother you are the funniest things in the world, because this isn't a law.
I like rules. I like order.
At a private parking lot, it's not even a law.
I know.
Or a rule.
I know.
Which I think in that
it's
scenario,
a guideline.
I think we should all do what those people do in those moments. Like, see, if that person does that, and if everybody does that, then it's just complete chaos. And that's why this guidance system works. And so I think in that moment, let's just all park in the front, put our hazards on. And
right. It doesn't. Have you ever driven in a third world country?
No, it's how they do it.
Nuts, yeah.
Like Michelle, this was the first time that she had been like this, and our van driver, our first one. So our first one, it was like, or no, our long one, it was like a 6-hour drive. And the guy goes, we know this guy, it'll be 4.5, or 5. And he wasn't as bad as our first driver. And our first driver, I didn't feel unsafe. I've been in India, and in India, it's a different beast completely. But this guy, he's like, traffic is merging and the lane that we were in is gone. He's still just kind of on the side of the road, just like moving the other cars over. And he's like, I'm getting in here no matter what, And I'm loving it because I've been in this situation before. Michelle is like, this is crazy. And Riker, who we're teaching to drive right now, he was like, I'm taking notes. I was like, no, don't take notes. Don't take notes.
Fantastic.
But
That's fantastic.
But I think, I think all of those things. So insecurity, fear, misplaced expectations, and I think we sabotage ourselves. Because I am not the most introverted introvert. I get that. Like I talk to a lot of people, out, so I'm not all the way introverted, but I like to be alone. I like to have my own space. I think that's probably true for everybody at some point, But I think if you would say, man, I am the introvert queen, I'm the introvert king, you cannot approach social settings out of fear, insecurity, or expectation of how other people should behave. Right. Because as we've just laughed about here, our personalities are so different.
Yeah.
That if my expectation is for you guys to approach me like I would approach you, I'd think y'all were mad at me every single day. Just because I have a system in my head of how to show people like, I don't know.
Yeah. I have a thought.
Go.
I think these are all like fantastic wisdom conversations for just interacting with each other in community.
Right.
I think this is actually a secondary conversation in this. I actually think that if you were actually worshiping together, if you were actually meeting each other's needs, if you were actually praying together, if you were actually sharing the Lord's Supper together, I don't think you come away from that and say, I don't feel like I'm part of a community.
True. Yeah. So you're picking guidelines then. The person would be picking guidelines outside of the scope of what the church is about.
Yeah. I think the community that's expressed in the New Testament, I'm sure there's probably more things I'm not thinking of, but those are at least 4 core things. And I'm saying that exactly as I mean it. If you're actually worshiping, praying, meeting each other's needs, sharing the Lord's Supper together, I don't think you feel like you're not part of community.
Yeah. And if those things aren't sufficient for you, then you're picking guidelines that aren't framed through Christ.
I don't think that it can be not sufficient for you. I think that's
if you're doing that thing for real,
right? That's why I said it exactly like I said it. If you're actually doing those things with other people, I don't think there's a way you don't feel community.
Yeah. So
my question to you then would be like, I don't think what I'd say is I don't think you're actually participating with people in those things.
Oh, so maybe some of the people who are struggling to find community in the church are approaching the church as a country club rather than a group of believers.
Yes. It's not an assembly or a gathering. It's not the ecclesia.
It's a social group. It's a fraternity or a sorority.
Or it's the thing to check off my list I have to go do, but I'm not actually participating in this with people. Right. Now, I will say, I think it's harder in the bigger church setting to find that. But I think we can see this. Like even when we had 50 people, there were people who felt like they were fringe people. But I don't think you get to that point by actually participating in these things that the New Testament says that the church does together.
Yeah. And to be able to ask those people, well, are you showing up to this? Are you taking the Lord's Supper? Are you like?
So as an example, I thought you did a great job of like getting people to pray together at church a few weeks ago, like gathering, like helping them, like, hey, gathering in these groups. I think if they actually prayed for each other, there's a bond built, even if it's small in that moment, that wasn't built if they just pray outside of gathering in those groups.
Agreed.
That's what I mean.
Yep.
So I think the conversation we were having is a good one to have, but I think it's secondary.
Yeah.
Because you can have community through golf or jujitsu or for sure. Jujitsu is the most awkward community you can have.
Getting real close.
You lay on me for a little while this morning. Anyways, but like I think I never thought about it till just now. Like I don't think you can get around that.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether you're an introvert or extrovert, if you're worshiping with people, praying together with people, meeting each other's needs, sharing the Lord's Supper together to remember the death of Jesus until he comes again. I don't think, regardless of your tendencies, your background, or your comfortabilities, I don't think you walk away going, I don't feel community.
So interesting thing that I want to build on then. I don't know everybody in our church. There's a time that
you're such a sucky pastor.
I know. Well, there's a guy that I follow. follow on Facebook that would say that, because I don't know everybody's name, that I'm a terrible pastor. But anyway, 50% of what he says is awesome. So I still follow him. But
why is the name the thing? That's an interesting thing to me.
It's a rabbit hole. We'll go down sometime. Okay. But I don't know everybody. And there are some people that have introduced themselves to me a couple times. I'm slowly learning their names.
That's the most awkward thing.
I hate it. Yeah. But
I met you last week.
I'm just really bad at that. I just am. And if I don't practice their names and say their names regularly, it's not there in my head. It's just not. So that being said, and then there are people in the church that I know, and I know their names, but we're not social. We don't hang out. And then there are people in the church that I check on, and they'll check on me, and they'll text me a funny meme or whatever. And then there are people that will do that, plus I'm social with. So there's all these categories. But there's not a single person in that church that I don't have a desire for them to know and enjoy Jesus.
Right.
Does that make sense? And so maybe what people are doing is they're saying I don't have community, when what they mean is I don't have friendship.
Yes.
And they're conflating the two ideas. And because community doesn't always look like what they think friendship looks like, they say they don't have community.
Yes, that's a fantastic point.
So I have some good friendship with the people in the church, but there's not a single person in the church, to your point, Micah, that I don't have community with, that if they called me today and said, Pastor, we need this, or Ryan, can you, I'm like, yeah, we're there. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, can we pray together over this?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And there wouldn't be a single person that came up to me after church to talk to me about something that I would turn away. Like, because these are people who I want to know the Lord.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And if our attitude as churchgoers, not just the pastor, but as churchgoers is, I want these people around me to know and enjoy the Lord too, then that is the overlap.
Yeah.
Like, these are the people that were just a row or two in front of me worshiping the same Jesus I'm worshiping, to your point, Micah.
Yeah. No, I do. Yes. I think the secondary conversation of the friendships is important. I'm not trying to say it doesn't have value.
Agreed.
I'm just saying I think it can't be primary. I think the primary, if we're talking about community, the primary is what we do together as believers. I also don't think you have that community with people without it producing some kind of friendships.
Sure. Well, and that could be a good question now that we ask when somebody goes, man, I just don't feel like I have community. We could say, do you mean you feel like you don't have any friends within the community?
Right.
Yes.
Because the community exists by the very nature of what Christ is.
The word ecclesia is an assembly or gathering. If you are coming to be part of the assembly, to some degree, you're participating
doing
in
the things that the assembly are doing, then you are part of the community.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe the conversation is, I don't feel like I have friends within the community I'm part of.
Is important, and I think
a valid conversation.
And I think it's something that is easily remedied in the sense of like just practically moving forward. I'm not saying it's easy for everybody. I'm just saying like the fix is easily remedied.
I think it's a great distinction. Like, that's such a good distinction. That's such a good intentionality for us to have as pastors as well, of shaping that, because you're exactly right. Like, the community exists, and I guess let me ask this question. So let's say that it isn't necessarily a friendship thing, but it is I don't feel connected to the word, or whatever word they want to use, to the worship or to the community. How can I feel connected? In that case, is it more of an issue of like just an understanding of what we're doing as believers?
Like, I don't understand the question.
I'm just trying to think of like,
what, give me an example if someone said that.
Like, say someone has been coming for a few months or whatever, and on Sunday mornings, and it's like they come and they go through the motions, but they don't feel like they're like a part of it with these.
Okay,
these people.
I think
does that make sense?
Yeah, but I think it's what I said a second ago. I think I would say like, you're not actually participating.
I got you. Yeah. So and that's what I'm getting at. Is that in that situation, it's not what interactions are you having with the people around you. It's where's your heart? Like, where's your mindset when you're coming into this situation?
It's like, for me. So again, preferences in worship, preferences in preaching. I get.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have a debate with someone over that. Like, I totally get that. Like, I was telling someone recently, like, I know that 456 is not everybody's cup of tea.
Right.
Which I'd almost be concerned if we were everybody's cup of tea, because we're doing something wrong, probably. But like, if someone's like, I don't like the way you guys do worship, I would probably say like, okay, well, can I give you some places I know of that have some worship that you might be like more apt to enjoy?
Exactly.
I think the preferences to me is a different conversation than someone who's like, I'm not connecting with you in worship.
Right.
Like, are we proclaiming truth about who God is together through on Sunday's song? then what?
Yeah, what are you looking for in that connection? Which can probably be rooted in like a cultural understanding of like an emotional experience as opposed to
they have an
worship.
idea of what that's supposed to look
Exactly.
like.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which is really just someone not having the nuts to say, I don't like the way you do it.
Which, yeah, like I was saying a second ago, from a pastoral standpoint, I think the distinction between community and friendships within that vein, we're able to get down to the nitty gritty of like, where is your heart and where is your mind? And is it a misunderstanding because of the way culture has presented worship or presented teaching? Is it something that's selfish within you? Like, so for us being able to shepherd people in that way to here's an understanding of what community is. And as we who are true believers come in to truly practice these things, to worship, to partake of the Lord's Supper, to engage in the teaching and encouragement and wisdom that comes from the word, like when we actively participate in that community and that connectivity is what's happening presently there. And then from that, you will, I think statistically we would agree, like you will build those relationships. You'll build those friendships within that space.
I think if you're actually participating, that's what I meant earlier. Like, I think if you're actually doing those things with people, I don't know how
a byproduct would be.
I don't know how that does, especially prayer.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah.
Especially
because
prayer.
in the same vein of what we talked about earlier in regards to like mission trips and like wartime and some things like that, like there's even if it's for like a shorter period of time, there is this engagement of like, I don't know, like being there for one another in a very similar way, like of supporting one another for the sake of Christ, like building up what Christ has accomplished. You're through the act of prayer, like you're establishing this mutual goal, heartbeat, mindset of Christ. And that's the foundation of our lives. And we as brothers and sisters are coming before our God together to ask for this thing, to lay down, to worship, like whatever it might be in that moment. Like, and there is a level of
camaraderie.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's like a bond
from that. Yeah.
And that's what I meant earlier. Like, I don't know if I could explain it. I think you could see it across the scripture. I'm not sure it's ever defined in a way like, hey, here's what's actually happening inside of you. But there is something about praying together that is strong.
Yeah.
In terms of building bonds and building relationships. So
agreed.
I that's what I meant earlier. I think you're probably not actually doing this with people. You're going through the motions, but you're not actually doing those things with people. If you've ever been part of like a worship situation or worship night or worship service where it ends up just being kind of like a non-programmed, like just intimate, intense, like something happens in those moments too. When you're like, the facade of who you are is taken down a little bit. You know what I mean? Like there's the bonds that are created. Honestly, I think even like practically when you think about, like Ryan, you were saying earlier, like you're comfortable with us on trips. There's an openness to transparency in that moment. Like you're the time that you ate something bad when we left Reynosa, like you're in that moment, you're not worried or embarrassed about how we feel about you having to go number 2 pretty bad in the car, dude. Right? Like
that's like the sweatiest I've ever been.
Like, but if you were in a group of people that you felt uncomfortable with, the strain looks a lot different. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of an extreme example.
You guys still make fun of me for that. And that was, I mean, make fun of me is the wrong thing. We still laugh about it every year. That was 13 years ago.
Wow.
I'll probably die before you, but like if I don't,
the day you die,
well, I would say at your funeral, I'll talk about that probably too. Is like, you know what I mean? Like, but there's an openness and transparency in the relationship that like the facade has been brought down, if you will, in our friendship. There's no sense of like, I have to prove to these guys that I'm this person. You know what I mean? Like the facade, that's the wrong word, but you understand what I'm saying? Like the barrier has been broken in terms of openness. And I think that's what happens when you pray with someone like that.
Yeah.
When you said you guys had done this in the past, you and some friends in the past. I did this in high school with Matt and Brian, some friends of mine in high school, but like we would just read through, I think one night we read through the Psalms together, like just, it was hours. I don't know how far we got, but even in that, it's like the bond is different. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean by like, I don't think you're actually doing those things with people.
Yeah.
You're going through the motions. You're like, well, I did it. I showed up at church Sunday and I worshiped. I'm like, maybe.
Yeah.
I just don't know how you say I worshiped with people and there wasn't some kind of bond created.
Yeah. Well, it's because they're allowing their unmet expectation to shape it more than the worship did.
That's a good way to say it.
Yep.
I think this is probably a longer conversation.
Yeah.
That was a brand new thought for me.
I like it though.
Which part?
I don't know if you're actually like worshiping, praying, Lord's Supper, meeting each other's needs. I don't know how you don't feel like you're in community with people.
Right.
I don't think it's possible. That's what I'm saying.
No,
if you're actually
agreed.
doing those things, I don't think it's possible for you to feel like you're not in community with those people.
Agreed. I think it's crucial for
which is different than the conversation of friendships.
Yeah. And I think it's crucial. Am I bleeding right here? Do you see anything? Okay, cool. I just looked at my fingernail and had some red on it. I think it's crucial for believers to view that correctly, and I mean, which we talked about the whole episode, right? Like managing expectations from a biblical standpoint in regards to what is Christian community, and then within that we can also build relationships and friendships that come out of it. And yeah, so that's really cool. I like the distinction there. I like the language that's used, and you're exactly right, Mike. I think it's a continued conversation for us to kind of like. And how we put that into practice, and how we utilize that language, and how we teach and shape other people. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely.
I also don't think it means you always like everybody you're doing community with.
Yeah. I mean, already people are going to Ryan and saying I don't like them. So, did you have a simpler view based off of that, Micah?
Oh gosh. I think let's start here, because I think this is something we're gonna have to come back to later. I think community amongst believers is the New Testament things. Like, again, I don't think this is the exhaustive list. It's worshiping together, praying together, meeting each other's needs. It's probably more like the Acts 2, like what the early church did in Acts 2 after all these people got saved, is they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching. They broke bread in each other's homes. They prayed together. I'm missing the rest of them, but anyways, it's those kind of things. It's that stuff is what actual community is.
Yeah, and that's such a cool way as well, like applying that within day-to-day conversation to people who are saying, "Well, I just don't feel this," or "I don't have this." I'm like, cool. Are you praying for each other? I'm like, are you striving to serve one another, to meet each other's needs? Are you dedicating yourself to the teaching? Like, having those types of questions, as opposed, I mean, obviously there's going to be like social type of questions as well, but I think first and foremost, if the conversation is centered around Christian community, I think we have to come back to this place of like, is this the heart of how you're interacting with one another? Yeah. Like, is this what you're striving to do and honoring Jesus in the midst of that? That's so cool. That's really cool. I like that. Hey, for you guys now who are listening and watching, thank you so much. You're awesome. Thank you for being a part of the Simpler community. There are ways down below to be, what's it?
Community.
Community. There's ways to get connected, to get plugged in, to communicate with us, all that fun stuff. There's resources and social media tags and all the stuff tagged down below. Go check those things out. Give us a follow, send us a message, all that stuff. You have questions, you have thoughts. That's the best way to get in contact with us, is either by leaving a review on Spotify or sending us a message through wherever you're listening, or going to our Instagram at simplerpod. That's one of the best ways to contact us. Pitch us ideas. So this idea was given to Ryan by one of his friends. We're always looking for ideas for conversations to have. So one of the ways that you can do that is either reaching out to one of our personal pages or to the Simpler page tagged in the show notes down below. I want to give a huge shout out to Steven here at the Garden Audio. We love the freedom that we can have to come up here and know that it's going to be set up and ready to go, and that the product is always going to sound amazing. So we're thankful for Steven and what he's doing. Wherever you are, leave a comment and say thank you, Steven, and I'll be sure to send all of those to him so he can feel all lovey-dovey inside. And hey, as always, keep Christ his core. What could be simpler than that? We'll see y'all next week. Bye.